We all want to become more productive in some way or the other. We know we can push ourselves further, yet find that we consistently procrastinate on the things that don't actually push us in the right direction. Today, we're going to change that.
Holy crap, it's roasting here. We're going to get through this. Woo! Welcome everyone, my name is Andy, and I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to come and watch this video on the channel dedicated to helping you become the best version of yourself. If you'd like to sign up for the Monday Mindset Club, the only email at the beginning of the week you're happy to get, then the link is down below. I would love for you to be a part of it. Today we're talking about productivity, and I know a lot of the YouTubers recently have been talking about the toxicity of productivity, and we're going to try and figure out some ways on how to balance that and make it more healthy for you in your situation.
If your time is so critical, why do we waste so much of it? I always felt that I needed specific times in my day to work, and this method helped me do just that.
Time blocking is potentially one of the most powerful things that you can do with your day. Because we are chopping and changing with so much, and because there is literally everything we could be doing in the blink of an eye, it's really important to dedicate some time at specific times to do that. That's exactly what time blocking is. Sort of does what it says in the tin. You block time out of your day to do said thing. This is especially good for those who are sort of reactive type people, where they see something on Instagram and they have to keep scrolling, or they see something online and they have to go and check it out. This is a good way to be able to take away all distractions and just do the work you need to do that's actually going to push you in the right direction. Many ways to do time blocking, which is the best thing and I love about it. Some people do it in day sequences. For instance, myself, I plan one day, I shoot the next day, and then I edit the day after that. It sort of allows me to split it up and keep my sanity as I'm trying to do everything else that I'm trying to do in my business. Some people often do rituals as well for specific days, so each day at this specific time is the time that they're going to work. This works especially well if you've been able to work out when you are most productive, when you feel you're most concentrated, and then you can use that time to your advantage. Unfortunately, for the people who maybe work the 9 to 5 or they have a different thing outside of that, it can be challenging to find your optimal time of concentration, because if you've done a hard day at work, if you've got kids in the morning, it can be really challenging to find that time for yourself. But I can guarantee there's maybe 30 minutes in the day to an hour where you can find that time to push yourself just a little bit forward, and time blocking that time where everyone knows that's the circumstance can really help you in this instance. Time blocking is so beneficial because you're able to find the gaps in your work and fill them in a little bit. For the longest time, I was going from everything, one thing to the other. And when I went from one thing to the other and then tried to go back, you're trying to think about, oh shit, what do I need to do? What have I missed here? Have I missed something that's really important? And it can be really challenging to get back on track to what you're doing. This is why when you time block for a very specific thing, you're able to then work on that with no other distractions. So the things that you would often miss by chopping and changing kind of dwindle away as your full focus is on what you're doing right now. My recommendation is to set aside 2 hours of your day for this total. It doesn't have to be the exact same time, but if you can optimally get 2 hours of work and dedicated work to something that's moving you forward, over the long run, that's going to be a game changer. I've been someone in the past who worked 12, 14, 16 hours on my business during the day. Probably the worst mental time of my life. I wasn't in a good place physically, mentally, emotionally, and it really didn't help me at all. And I know people were really into this hustle culture and really into doing that sort of stuff. This is your life. You've got to enjoy where you're at right now, and whenever you get to X place, you're not going to be happy if you're not happy where you're at right now. And this is why time blocking for me is just so critical. And it leads me on to point number 2.
We have so many tasks that can be done in a day, but how many of those are actually worth our time? We push the challenging work to the back and never get around to it. And this is where we need to flip the system.
The second thing is the priority lists. Oh my God, the best thing you could possibly do with your life is prioritize. We have so much to get done in the day. Let's be honest. We all have so many things that we could do. Go to the shops, tidy your room, eat food, drink, just random stuff that can and needs to be done. Yet we always seem to be lacking on the time that we have. I know that you've complained you don't have enough time in the day, because I've done the same. The excuse I used for so long, in reality, I wasn't prioritising my day. In the mornings, I would do stupid things that wouldn't actually lead to anything, and therefore when it got to the time I actually needed to sit down and concentrate, I had no energy left, I couldn't be bothered anymore, and therefore I just didn't do it. Something I heard a while back is you're never going to get everything done that you want to get done. No matter what, you're never going to get everything done. You can always do more. And this is a long game. Tell me a successful person who was successful overnight one day. If you have someone in the comments who you can say it was successful overnight, through absolutely no preparation, then I'll give you a tenner. Priorities in playing the long game are so important, and you need to understand what area is actually going to do that and get you to that place. Something that I always try to question myself of when I prioritize the night before is this going to actually help me climb higher in the mountain, or am I going to continue walking on the straight path due to this? Some people can do other things like, is this going to make me money? Is this going to push my business forward? Is this going to help me spiritually? There's so many ways that you can utilize this to your advantage. You've just got to work out your own system for that. But knowing your priorities, knowing what is actually taking you steps forward rather than steps back, critical. You can even write as many tasks as you want. Write down 50 and narrow it down to 3. Literally the 3 tasks that if you done all of these, they would be the most beneficial than all the rest. That's going to change your life. So, little side tip before we move on, do this the night before, meaning that when you get up in the morning, you actually know what you're going to do to make the day successful. Amazing.
We all know the people who brag about being able to multitask, but these are often the ones who complain that they can't get anything meaningful complete without moving on to something else. Understanding why made me change my method drastically.
I'm going to be honest, I see a lot of people flaunting, especially in person, about how they're able to multitask. Yeah, most people can't do it, and it's actually been proven, and I've talked about it a few times, that it's not possible, especially for harder and more challenging tasks. We often get distracted, and I know a lot of people may be reactive to different situations, but we lose such a massive percentage of our focus when we start to chop and change with everything we do. This is why I talked about the priority list and the time blocking before moving on to this, because you needed to understand the fundamentals first before hearing that multitasking didn't really work. I'm telling you, I used to be this person. I was the person who thought I could multitask, and I was a twat. Someone should have hit me there and then. I deserved it. Do one thing at a time. You'll save so much time. I'm not even joking. The amount of things that I have saved doing, because it just takes a lot less time when you focus on one thing. I don't have words to put into how essential that has been for me. There's some other things that you can do, because I know me saying that and me saying just do one thing at a time, yet you've got your phone on your desk, you've got your controller on your desk, and you've got everything else that's right beside you to distract you. Remove distractions as best as you can. Put your phone upside down or throw it away. Not really, but yeah, really. If it's something you can do offline, turn off your Wi-Fi, that sort of stuff. Make it harder for yourself to lose your concentration. And by doing that, you're going to slowly realize what actually takes it away the most. And you're going to consciously see, oh, I see my phone pinging. I need to check that, but I need to do the work. And now that you've watched this video, and now you've realised Annie's going to death stare into the camera if you don't, so I need to move it. We've talked about time blocking, we've talked about priority lists, and we've talked about, I forgot. We've talked about multitasking. Now we're on to the 4th and final point.
Your day is determined by your morning. How you act, react, and spend it matters more than you think. Setting yourself up for success leads to it. A goal without a plan is just a wish.
I swear people don't realise the power of the morning. Your morning leads your day. So whatever happens in the morning is going to bleed on to the rest. It's just like anything. What you do in the morning is going to lead on to what happens in the rest of the day. If you leave your house absolutely raging, you're probably going to be raging for most of the day, every little thing that goes wrong. This is why being able to take 5 to 40 minutes of your morning for yourself is what's really going to help with your overall productivity, your health, and your well-being for the full day. The reason I say 5 to 40 minutes is because some people just don't have enough time, and I completely understand that. 40 minutes is quite a long time, especially if you're already someone who has to get up at like 5, 4 in the morning to go to work. You're not really wanting to get up earlier than that. This is why you can do it in 5 minutes, and I've actually made a video directly about this. It was a 7-minute morning routine. And I swear to you, just doing these things is going to give you a lot more mental clarity and a lot more understanding of your productive day and your successful day to come. Once you've actually dedicated the first part of your day to success or happiness, you realize how much gratitude you can have for the rest of the things in your life. You take 1 minute to meditate, you take 1 minute to write in a journal what you're grateful for, what you're going to do to make today successful. You've already planted in your brain that you're going to do these things, and you're going to come back and you're going to write down about what you've actually done. There's all the little things that actually add up. It's something I always get mixed up in when I was trying to build new habits, was thinking, this is just going to take so much time. I'm not going to have the time to build 20, 30 habits. Fact of the matter is, as you build better habits, your worst ones start to sort of put themselves in the back burner, they're not happening as much anymore, so you leave more room for the good ones to come in. You're not eliminating bad habits, as it's nearly impossible to completely eliminate them, but you can put them on the back burner and leave that room and that time for things that actually matter. You wake up in the morning and you scroll on social media for an hour, or you wake up in the morning and you meditate for a few minutes, you write in your journal for a few minutes, you make sure you drink water, you get a little bit of breakfast. You've already made the day a success in my eyes. You have already started your morning in the complete right way. You've not fed into the toxicity that is constantly on social media. How you set up your day starts with your morning, and that leads you on to whatever you're going to achieve in the future. There was something that Dale Carnegie said, and I actually mentioned it in my podcast when I talked about this productivity sort of surrounding it, and it was, do the hard jobs first, the easy jobs will take care of themselves. And it speaks wonders to everything that you do. Doing the hard job first is just what is going to get you to where you want to go. It's as simple as that. There really doesn't have to be anything further said. If you'd like to sign up for the Monday Mindset Club, the only email at the start of the week that you are happy to get, then the link is down below. I would love for you to be a part of that. I want to take a second to thank all of the patrons who continue to support me in creating these videos. And I know the video on the screen right now will be something you'll enjoy to watch. Have a fantastic day.